Loose White dive on it.
This is twice now the Celtics have been first to the floor.
They try to save with Horford. Unbelievable.
Boston first to the floor. So good.
Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Tatum dives on the floor. Everybody dives. Jaylen Brown with the flush. Blocked by Porzingis. He's doing it all. Tatum spinning, driving, layup. Washington drives. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derek White.
All right, welcome in. First to the Floor podcast. Ben Vallis here along with Jake Eisenberg. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Jake, opening night is only 3 nights away. I think we did it. I think we made our way through this terrible bad vibes off season coming off like the Knicks loss and the Tatum injury. And now if you think about where we're at, the vibe improvement since that point in time where it's like Jason Tatum could be back like tomorrow. And suddenly things are looking good again. Josh Minot is like part of the big four. Life has changed a lot in the past 3 months.
Wow. Wow. That is some incredible hype on opening night. I hope they're paying you. Without NBC Sports. NBC Sports Boston, get this man a check immediately. Soak it in. Soak it in right now because I think I think it could get dark quick if Jaylen Brown's not playing. If Joel Embiid is playing, the Knicks are really good. That's the stealth tank idea sounds good until you're losing to the Sixers and the Knicks and you want to die. And you're like, please, Jason Tatum, come back and save us immediately. I do not want to live in this world where we are the losers.
Yeah, well, there's no stealthiness about it. It's just like, you suck and are tanking. Well, what do you think's more likely? First 3 games, which we're going to get into. So, like, just to quickly position what this pod will look like. Quick pod tonight, shorter pod, about 30 minutes. Doing a quick opening night / opening week preview here. We've, of course, got the season opener Wednesday night, TD Garden against Philly. Then Friday night on the road in Madison Square Garden. Friday night MSG game, like that should be good. Hopefully we can get some revenge there on the road against the Knicks for putting us out last season. And then bit of a drop off in the vibes, but the Pistons in Little Caesars Arena there in Detroit there, Jake. So what do you think's more likely, 3-0 or 0-3 if you had to choose? I think it's probably 0-3, right?
It's 0-3.
We are favored against Philly.
Slight favorites against Philly. We're definitely underdogs against the Knicks, and we will be underdogs on the road in Detroit, assuming everything stays as is health-wise. Which 1 and 2, after losing to the Pistons and the Knicks, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's such a big contrast to the last 4 years, especially last season and the year before. Like, we remember before opening night last year, it's like we're going to get our rings, and then we're going to belt to ass these motherfuckers, and Jason Tatum comes out and drops like 40, and it's like the greatest night of all. That night was one of like title night, easily the best night. The parade, all the aftermath, incredible. Opening night was one of the best nights in the Jays era, without a question. This is going to be a little bit different because as it stands right now, Joel Embiid, I think he's going to play. He looked good. It's like the best that Joel Embiid has looked on a basketball court in maybe basically since the end of the Knicks series in 2024. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, he looks thinner.
Which has always been a thing. Yeah, I mean, he played like 18 minutes, and he could be the Cater stopper. He might be. We might run into a few. We might be running into a few Cater stoppers this season, potentially.
You can only play the Cater stopper in front of you, which right now is Joel Embiid, who seems to be healthy. Paul George, also a full participant in practice yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, according to something that was posted to their Reddit page.
So I thought that something said that he was already slated to miss the beginning
Yeah,
of the
let me see if I can bring that up real quick. But definitely
Interesting.
read that in my brief research right before we went live here. And as my internet is slow, I guess, because we're live streaming. So let me come back to that.
I will
Go
say
ahead.
that the Embiid availability is significantly more important than the Paul George availability. Like, as long as Embiid can kind of move around, just his size and skill he can sleep. This guy can sleepwalk to 30 and 10. And that's the whole thing with Embiid. It's been really fun to be a rival of him in the Sixers because he is objectively an incredible player when healthy. So it's incredibly fun to beat him every single time. But man, he might kill Neemias Queta.
He may literally kill him. But Paul George, day to day, and Reddit, the where I found the article is not loading, but it was like linked to like a Sixers beat reporter essentially, so it seemed quite legit. Let me see if I can find that before we wrap up here. But Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Kelly Oubre Jr., Paul George, Joel Embiid is the starting lineup according to ESPN.com. So quite a lot of depth there for Philly as well. I think they're predominantly healthy with the exception of Jared McCain. Going to have a work cut out for us. Jake, I mean, let me go optimism first. If the Celtics are to win this game. Wait, have we lost Jake? No, you did. Okay. Sorry. I was in another tab. If the Celtics are to win this game, what's the story look like there?
That Neemias Queta is the Joel Embiid stopper. Has Al Horford, through osmosis, been able to impart some of the Joel Embiid, Giannis stopping power? Xavier Tillman actually does kind of profile as a guy that could slow down Embiid, just being like that switchable, and that's what Tillman is. That's why he is in the NBA, is to be able to move his feet, stand in front of a guy, and he has clearly the strength and the size to. You want to always be making at least Embiid like take those mid-range jump shots with a contest. Al Horford was so good that he could get blocks and get strips when Embiid would kind of go into his bag. Horford was one of the greatest. And sorry that this episode's already kind of turning into like a half preview, half reminiscing.
It's going to be a theme this season,
half
I think.
All season. Remember, those were the good days. But Tillman is a guy that has quick hands and high defensive IQ. That might be the answer defensively to slowing these guys down. And then it's going to be interesting because, I mean, they have firepower. Maxey, obviously, as well. Like, if Pritchard's starting, Derek's starting, is Pritchard going to be given the Tyrese Maxey make him uncomfortable matchup? Because I know Jaylen Brown, winning this game, Jaylen Brown probably needs to play. Be step one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we both said earlier, like, they are favored in this game. What that says about Jaylen Brown's potential to play, like, that must say something about his potential to play, right? And like, typically the bookies have some sort of level of insight that the rest of us don't have. And because it would just seem like a no-brainer to favor the Sixers, like, and like the vengefulness of the Sixers as well, coming into TD Garden with like just us in the crosshairs, knowing like now is the time to pounce on the Celtics. If we're ever going to beat these guys, like surely it's going to be now. How the fuck are we not favored in this game? Jaylen Brown's injured. Like, really? So the fact that we are favored to win this game tells me maybe there's a chance that Jaylen Brown comes back, which I don't know about. Like, do you really want to get this kind of season off to that kind of start, risking further injury to Jaylen Brown? That's kind of a side note, but it's definitely going to be Jaylen Brown coming back, and it's definitely going to be like hitting them with the pace. I think like if Joel Embiid is on the court, even if it is this renewed svelte version of Joel Embiid, you better have that guy fucking running up and down the court, huffing and puffing. Like, that's kind of always been the format against like any sort of like lumbering big man, and like certainly Joel Embiid. So I think that, like, broadly speaking, has got to be the format for the Celtics going at the Sixers, is just to run them out of the building. Yeah.
Wow. Joel Embiid's making $67.4 million in 28-29. That's 31, 32. That is age 34 season for a guy that like 20 months, like first basketball in 20 months. That's a really good call, Ben. And what better way than to test out this new system, this run and gun system than against Embiid, Paul George, who's old, Andre Drummond, who's slow and old, Kyle Lowry, who's slow and old, Eric Gordon, who's slow and old. Like, it's not a very good roster when I'm looking at it now. Yes, Embiid, the prospect of Embiid is kind of scary, but he is still more of an idea at this point. And even in that preseason game, while he was really good for stretches, he definitely faded in that game. It's very possible that, 4 minutes into the game, he's at the free throw line and was just like the Towel boys are already working overtime, mopping up the sweat puddle that he leaves at the free throw line as he meanders back the other way. Like, that's probably going to be the move.
And Paul George, I think you could probably put him into that category as well at this point in his career. So like, got to be the main strategy, and then like very much linked to just like run and gun is, obviously the talking point going into this one, it's sort of colored the Celtics season and will continue to until Tatum returns. Is like, how do you replace Jason Tatum's production? And evidently, it's just like getting up even more threes than we did last year. And it seems like that is going to fit in well with the run and gun style, which we hopefully employ against the Sixers. Jake, is there anything else offensively, defensively, before we move on to probably an ad break and the other games to open the week? Anything else for this matchup?
Heaps more to come, Ben. But before, I let some of these X's and O's gems out into the ether, let's talk about our friends over at Prize Picks. And I don't know what's happening with the Patriots and Drake May. It keeps getting better somehow, and he's been basically playing at an MVP level for the past few weeks. And then today he breaks Tom Brady's completion percentage record, and I don't know what's going on. It's one of the more absurd things that this 23-year-old kid is playing this well. So we're gonna keep riding Drake May and the Patriots. Prize Picks more on completions, more on yards, rushing yards as well today. Ramondre even got going. Unreal stuff. And I mean, when we get to the Celtics game, I think Derek White overs, more on points, rebounds, and assists and blocks. I think you can ride that to the cows come home. So download the app today, use code CLNS. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today, use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. It's good to be right.
It's good to be right. Absolutely. Shout out Prize Picks. I'd definitely be taking more on like Derek White threes, like attempted or made if possible
Same with
in this opening night. Pritchard, absolutely. So getting back to this Philly, we'll give them a couple more minutes and then we'll move on to New York. But what do you think is going to be the approach from the Philly perspective? How do you think they're going to go about decimating the Celtics?
Yeah, I think you want to try and challenge the Celtics as creators, and I'm not sure they really have the personnel to do it. Like VJ, I really like VJ Edgecombe as a prospect, but you're asking a lot of him to come in and be their primary perimeter defender, and I really hope Jaylen Brown plays. I'm kind of leaning that he probably doesn't, and he shouldn't play. Like, if it's close, like this is game one of an 82 game season, it would be an absurd decision to let him play if he's even close with this hamstring. But I really hope he does, because it'll be so much fun. And I think that it's actually a really good matchup for him, because I don't think they have anyone to guard him. VJ Edgecombe, I like the profile and the prospect. Kelly Oubre Jr., always better in theory than in practice. Quentin Grimes, they're too small. Like, the three best kind of perimeter guys outside of Paul George are all small guards. And so Jaylen Brown eats in those types of matchups. So if he goes, I think he's going to be a problem for them. I think they're going to try and challenge us as creators. Ball pressure, pick up points, because that's the weakness that I see in the Celtics offense. Like, I love the fact they're going to push the pace. I like they're going to crash the offensive rebounds. I like that they're obviously going to hunt threes. They got a ton of 3-point shooting. Can they create the threes? And even in that Raptors game where Derek White got up 17 threes, a ton of them were really difficult pull-ups. And Derek White, shoots close to 40% or over 40% every night. But he was, 6 for 17. It's good enough for him to have like a 61% true shooting. But it's, they weren't the typical, like, we probably saw 1 or 2 corner threes from Derek White. Obviously, Jaylen Brown was out. But, can they force us into more difficult stuff and keep us out of that driving kick game? I'm interested to see if they can do that, because I don't really see the perimeter, like elite perimeter defense here. So it would be kind of a red flag if they're not able to get that going, I think, against this team.
For sure. Got to throw in the rebounding as well. Like, not that Joel Embiid is necessarily like being able to maintain the energy throughout 48 minutes to be this like prolific rebounder. Obviously, he's put up a number of triple doubles in his time, but like I don't necessarily see Joel Embiid like just sucking up, vacuuming all the rebounds throughout the entire game. But I mean, personnel wise, they've got, is it Andre Drummond as well coming off the bench?
Yes, they do. That's a point for the Celtics. That's probably the answer for why the Celtics are favored. Is that he's on their team. Just the fact that he's there.
But I think it favors the Sixers, and that says more about our personnel than theirs as far as like the rebounding side of things is concerned, because it's favored every shitty preseason team that we've essentially played thus far. So like, of course, it's going to favor the Sixers starters. I would assume. I do want to get to Tice's comment though, like just quickly, like top 3 Embiid posterizer candidates. So like off the top of your head, like Jordan Walsh, Josh Minot,
Jaylen Brown,
if he plays,
if he plays Jaylen Brown, Ugo. Could he get up there?
Oh man, can you imagine?
That would be really fun. Josh Minot is probably definitely. Anthony Simons is actually a legitimate candidate to dunk on people. Slam dunk champion. People forget. How many times do you think the broadcast this year is going to say people forget that Anthony Simons was dunk contest champion? Over under 31 and a half? Over?
I'll take the over. Absolutely.
Every game, especially the national ones. So it's a good point on the rebounding. It has been a struggle. That being said, it's never been a strength of the Sixers. They've always been a bad rebounding team because Embiid's not a good rebounder.
Yeah,
he sucks up like 10 rebounds a game. But that's because he's like plays a ton of minutes and he plays center. But they always had trouble with defensive rebounding. And if the Celtics are going to commit with all of these rangy wings, like I could see Josh Minot having 4 offensive rebounds in this game, and that's a way they flip the margin in their direction. If they're having trouble, getting clean looks from 3 and they're clanking a few, well, here comes Ugo and Josh Minot and Jordan Walsh, just waves and waves and waves of bricks and offensive rebounds.
Lawnmower, man. Pull the fucking cord. Let's go. Rev the engines. And it's the same reason why with Philly, like, it's not as simple as just being like, they're just going to like throw it down low to Joel Embiid and like let him go to work all game. Like maybe in the first quarter, but like we just know it's not sustainable. And like even with giving like some additional favor to this thinner, actualized version of Joel Embiid, I don't think anyone, including Embiid himself, probably sees that being the case. So going to be interesting, probably more evenly matched than we anticipated, all things considered, how much talent we've shed, how much physically better Joel Embiid looks, and yet like pretty evenly matched, slightly favoring the Celtics. And like the energy coming out, TD Garden, opening night, like a bit of a thirst for blood from the fans' perspective as well. And I would imagine the team like wanting to sort of prove themselves, but still a sort of an upper-ish echelon team. So go the Celts.
It is funny that we've literally no Jason Tatum. We lost. We were missing 5 of our top 8 from last season, and it's basically like the Celtics are still favored. Yeah. That's how badly things have gone for the Sixers.
That's another reason. That's another reason if the Sixers are going to win, it's like because of that. They're just like latched onto that narrative and they're like, I'm sorry, no. Like now is our time.
We have to beat these fucks.
Okay, so it makes more sense that we spend a little bit more time on the Sixers because it is like sort of the meaty opening night matchup. But moving on to the New York Knicks, I couldn't find betting odds on this one, Jake, but suffice to say we're probably not favored in this one on the road. Second game of the season. But the revenge factor, don't ignore the revenge factor, but starters for the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mitchell Robinson. ESPN.com has OG, Cat, and Mitchell Robinson all day-to-day currently, as well as Josh Hart off the bench. So interesting. I imagine they'll get up for this game against the fucking Celtics at home. But how do you see this one going, Jake?
Yeah, you said something earlier that I think is going to be really frustrating is teams are going to finally have their chance. Like there's dudes in the NBA that have been in the NBA for 4 years, long, like maybe even 8 years. Like how many? The Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have been kicking everyone's butt for so long,
Yeah, like 9
and
years.
yeah, like outside of that one 2020 season, they've been a top 2 or top 3 seed every year, going deep into the playoffs. And teams are going to be like, "This is our chance to kick you while you're finally down." And we'll see if we are as down as some of these teams and some of how I kind of feel that we are. But yeah, like Anthony Edwards has been in the league from Tyson. He's won one game against the Celtics. I'm pretty sure that's a completely accurate stat. That's true of so many teams, and it's gonna suck, especially like the Knicks, because even though we know that we should win that game, it's in theory kind of a house money situation against some of these teams because we should lose, but it's still gonna suck at the moment. Like even games last year when we lost to the Pistons and Malik Beasley was doing the shimmy in front of me, still pisses you off because teams love to beat the Celtics. I get it. Teams love to beat the Patriots. You always want to beat these teams. And Madison Square Garden, we're going to get the fucking next viral bing bong video if we lose. Like it's
gonna be like go touch grass, get offline for us. I think no post game pod, no instant reactions. It's gonna be a tough one, I guess. Like before we get
I have a music festival that day, so thankfully after the game,
nice.
whatever happens, the Strokes, the Presets, the War on Drugs,
Ooh, nice.
Jungle Giants. It's Genesis Owusu. It's pretty jam packed. Harvest Rock in Adelaide. So
okay.
Gonna
Short flight from Tassie.
Yeah, have some pre-drinks, watch the Knicks hopefully lose to the Celtics, and then head to the pastures of Adelaide for
I
good times.
pray for the good vibes of a Celtics win heading into that festival, Jake.
Exactly.
I guess making the case quickly before we get to the game time read for the Celtics to win in this one feels like we're going to be leaning on shooting variants as our we might win this game narrative. Like very Miami Heat in the sort of Tyler Hero era, where like I can't think of another case, especially like if you look at especially if Mitchell Robinson plays, like he is like 10 times a better rebounder than our best rebounder.
Yeah, Cat's a great rebounder. Mitchell Robinson's a good rebounder. Josh Hart, kill me now. He's gonna have 7 offensive rebounds.
I know, and it's gonna suck.
Yeah. That's a tough rebounding spot. Oh, did you see Yabusele weighed in at like 283 pounds?
Wow. So he's back? The booty is back?
I think so. I don't know because what he was
Derriere
at
extraordinaire.
I saw DJ, friend of the pod, Nick's Film School, tweet like 283 is unacceptable. And I almost thought I couldn't tell if it was a satire tweet or not. Like as if he was was he making fun of was he making fun of people saying there was a big deal when Yabusele was playing at 280? Like there's 3 pounds different. I don't know, but I don't think he was joking. 283 is so heavy. He looks at it. He looks at it in the preseason. He got his bag. Had his one big year for the Sixers, signed with the Knicks.
Yeah.
He's just going to chill on the bench.
That's Kenny Lofton Jr. territory, I believe. But he's obviously going to be well positioned with his heft to grab some boards to our point as well. So we're going to get out rebounded. We're going to get probably out hustled. There's going to be a lot of effort from the Knicks' perspective as well, because even though they punched us out of the playoffs last year, like there's a sort of a lengthy rivalry even in modern times between these two teams. So that's going to be a tough one. If I had to pick the one game that will like almost certainly lose, it's probably the Knicks game. But I pray for the Peyton Pritchard, like I was going to say 40 bomb, and it might have to be a 50 bomb if it's gonna go the way we want it to. And I pray for that every moment between now and tip off of that game.
Peyton Pritchard save us. Hey, he can do it. Like that's what I'm most excited for. Okay, does the Peyton Pritchard breakout just happen immediately? Can we get out there?
It's going to happen anywhere. It's going to happen in Madison Square Garden.
That's what I'm saying. I know Pritchard's going to be ready for it. So hopefully Tibbs goes back to drop coverage. We can get Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, pull up threes. But yeah, that's going to be how we hopefully just piss off a lot of teams this year. As you said, just shooting variance. We get up 53s, maybe half of them go in against the Knicks.
I think that is like legitimately the analysis on this one is like kind of pray for shooting variance. I think we've hit that accurately. It probably feels like a cop out to some degree, but like that's kind of how it is this year, especially against this kind of stacked Knicks team.
Well, before it was like if we hit threes, then we basically go 40-2. And now it's like if we hit threes, we probably have a chance to win. And if we miss threes, we're definitely losing.
Definitely losing. Got to make those threes. Before we get to the Pistons game to finish up here, a quick word from our friends over at Game Time. Game Time. The first of the floor crew are going to be heading over to Las Vegas for Summer League 2026, and we are absolutely going to be using or buying all of our tickets through Game Time, which genuinely is a fantastic platform that if you're not using, do yourself a favor, get on board. Game Time makes getting tickets to all types of events even faster and easier, and prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Last time we were in Las Vegas, we were outside the Thomas & Mack Center before the games, sniping last-minute deals using the Game Time app. They offer last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, and event cancellation, which you never know. You're in Las Vegas, might have a big night, might need to cancel your event. Game Time will sort you out. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. And take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Now, what is not guaranteed is a win against our third opponent of the regular season, the Detroit Pistons, Jake. Might get up, maybe in response to what we've just discussed, might be a brutal loss to the Knicks. Do they get up against the Pistons in response to that, Jake?
The Pistons are coming. Pistons are coming.
This
is a big year. Yeah, hey, Steven.
Yeah,
Monty. I think he's talking about himself.
Okay.
To be honest, he's basically tapped out since the moment Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. But the Pistons, we can win that game. We can win those games. Like, I think Jaylen Brown will be back by then. A nice little matinee game, a little 6:30 a.m. for us here on the eastern shore of Australia. But again, I'm interested to see our point of attack defense against Cade, and Ivy's already injured. Man, some of these teams are just like, we've got bad. Tatum's obviously torn his Achilles, but man, the Memphis Grizzlies completely riddled by injuries. The Pistons copping this Ivy injury as well. But this is a game that you can hang in, right? Like, the Pistons still have questions about both ends of the court. Really, they're going to be tough night to night. But I can see the Celtics hanging or stealing a win in that one. I don't know. It's hard. I don't want to preview this one too much. I feel like I'm getting a little too ahead of my skis. Like, I want to see the Celtics play before I start. We may as well just do all 82 at this point. Just go win, loss, win, loss.
Yeah, there will be another pod before this game, but yeah.
But yeah, I think the key is can you generate turnovers against the Pistons, and like that seems to be the new defensive scheme, and it's something that I would have liked us to see us try in previous seasons with different personnel. Obviously, it's hard to argue with the results of the previous few years, but like, we're playing more pressure, trying to force more turnovers, and then we're protecting the rim, and then we're scrambling out and closing out. It's different than the low risk, just contest, don't foul, scheme of previous years, which had us in the top 5 defensively past 3 seasons. So can't argue with it. But I'm excited to see us try and generate turn. I think against the Pistons is a team that could work really well against, because and the Sixers as well, because they don't have ball handlers. The Knicks, on the other hand, when you've got guys like someone like Jalen Brunson, who's just really sturdy with the ball, you're probably going to end up getting burnt. but against a team like the Pistons, I know Cade's really good, but turnover prone, and they don't really have trusted secondary creators yet. So could see that coming off in the Pistons game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Marcus Sasser is listed as their backup point guard with Jaden Ivey out. Now Sasser is day to day as well. So yeah, it's basically limited to Cade. I do feel like just from a personnel perspective, like this might be one of the more challenging defenses that we'll face early on, because it's just such a lengthy team with Cade, and like Karis LeVert at the 2 is like, he's not a notable defender, but he's a big body, good dimensions. I saw Thompson, Tobias Harris. I mean, maybe that's the weakness that we can exploit, and Jalen Duren as well, with Isaiah Stewart backing him up off the bench. B-Ball Paul as well as the third center off the bench. So like defensively, they've got some good personnel, like top to bottom, that I feel like might be more troublesome for this version of the Celtics team, who like won't necessarily be able to create the wide open lanes that like the everyone can shoot threes top 7 2024 Celtics could. So this feels, I sense danger here, Jake.
Of course, I think danger will be being sensed every night for this version of the Boston Celtics.
Brutal.
But I think I said it to Pistons Jack when he came on the show when we did the crossover episode. I was like, it's very hard for Celtics fans to take a team seriously that is starting Tobias Harris. And until that changes, I'm going to think we've got a chance to beat you any given night.
I think that's fair. Yeah. So you think this is the most winnable game? I think it on paper is the most challenging defense, but at the same time, I can see the argument for most winnable game as well.
The Sixers opening, no, I may have come around on the Sixers game. I came in negative. I've changed my tune because I think our pressure defense, they definitely lack ball handling outside of Maxey as well, similar to how the Pistons do. Like if Paul George misses, Jared McCain we know is out. Like, okay, who are you relying on? VJ Edgecombe? Are we going to see some Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon? Like, Justin Edwards had some moments last year, but yeah. And just as we're getting positive, Tice comes back in the chat and says, "Bro, we will lose to the Sixers." Damn it.
Yeah, folks in the chat, you've got approximately 30 seconds to fire off your takes on opening night before we wrap this one up. We did say Tom Thibodeau before when talking about the Knicks. Thank you for calling us out and calling us casuals. It is, of course, Mike Brown, the now.
Oh, is that the
coach.
casual comment?
I believe so. Yes, easy mistake to make. Like Tibbs and the Knicks is it's an easy thing to do.
Freudian slip. Mike Brown is a pretty NPC. He's a retread coach. It's not like JJ Redick. Like it's not like JJ Redick was hired to the Knicks. Like that's a memorable thing. Mike Brown is a very
interim.
It's just another head coach that has been around for a while. It's just a different version of Tibbs probably.
When they talk about value over replacement coach, the coach they're referring to is Mike.
Good
Brown.
Coach, like not a Monty Williams coach. Micah 1 of 5 in the first 5 games, first 6 games from Steven. Ty's calling 1 of 4.
Oof.
Man, we almost brought it back positive at the end there.
Yeah, these are some very Garden Report comments, guys. I'm sorry to say.
These Europeans, dude, it's early for them. They probably still haven't had their coffee. Tice probably has some work emails that telling him that he did a bad job yesterday. He's got to get into the office early, fix up his mistakes from the previous day. I get it.
They're in Finland. The sun's probably not even up yet as well. I'd imagine that's got to have some sort of effect on your general outlook on life and the Celtics. Shout out Finland. Okay, so we've hit on the opening week. I think we've managed to pepper some optimism. I think some reasonable optimism as well. Any closing thoughts? Any closing remarks before we wrap?
Go Celtics, man! I'm excited. I'm excited to see these. TD Garden's going to be rocking. If I learned anything from the preseason, is that Celtics fans are going to fucking turn up and be ready to go.
Yeah, this is the year. Put your fucking Celtics jersey on wherever you are in the world. Finland, Australia, wherever you're at, West Virginia. Put your C's jersey on, walk around, show some pride. This is the year to get behind them because, they're going to need our support, I suppose.
Hey, it's easy. It's easy to be a fan of the past 4 seasons. This is where you earn your stripes.
Absolutely.
Seasons like this. This is not even that bad. We're projected to be 500.
Yeah, and then Tatum will be back next week, and life will be good again. So, All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate it. I'm going to fire up the playback room for opening night. Of course, It's opening night. How can we not? One of us has got to do it. Wayne Spooney may be joining me. Hasn't committed to it yet, but I'm putting the pressure on. So hit up Wayne Spooney in the comments in the Discord and let him know to join me for opening night on the playback. That's playback.tv/Celtics blog. Jake Eisenberg, love your work, man. Until next time, go Celts.